I didn't really know what to think of it at first. Power zoom seems a bit weird. Good thing this camera is weather resistant as well as the lens, because we're gonna get into a lot of very not great weather conditions out here. Hey Taylor, you should check out this new lens. It's the 18 to 120 f4 Fujifilm. I haven't heard of it. Will it make me a better photographer? It will absolutely make you a better photographer. That's a guarantee.
This video is sponsored by Focal, and if you sign up for a website before June 18th, 2022, you get a free custom logo as well. There's a link in the description to learn more. This is a pre-production unit, which means the Fujifilm 18 to 120 f4 power zoom will only get better from here. Also, I was not paid by Fujifilm to make this video, just given the pre-production units for a couple of weeks for testing. There are 4 ways to zoom this lens. Number 1, you can use a zoom ring, which is designed to feel like a manual zoom ring. Number 2, you can use a zoom lever, or the rocker as we've nicknamed it. Number 3, you can use the zoom button to zoom at a constant speed. Or number 4, you can use the touch screen controls.
I've been using the rocker more than the actual zoom ring up here, or the acting zoom ring, I guess. And ergonomically, it's very nice. I will also say that this lens is incredibly light, a lot lighter than I would have expected it to be, even looking at it like this. It doesn't feel like anything. I think the battery grip probably weighs the same amount as this lens. Scientific tests here in Iceland. Let's see if the lens weighs as much. The lens does weigh more, but it's close. It's very close.
Now you might be saying, why get a power zoom? And it's if you want to do real nice zooms like this. And as you can see on the right-hand side, the controls for either zoom in, zoom out, or you can do it on the slidey bar on the side there. And now we're zooming in. This is just me touching the side button and letting the lens do the work.
Y'all ready to see some pretty average photography from Iceland? Let's get started.
Optically, this lens really exceeded my expectations. It's an f4 super zoom. How could it be any good? Well, it is. It is very much an all-in-one lens, and while it's nice for photographers, it is very nice for video creators. And this puts me on a personal crossroads with it, as I suspect you might be as well. You probably own a Fujifilm camera because you love the process of photography, and if you are straight up a photographer, I might suggest another lens in the Fujifilm lineup. However, if you are a hybrid shooter or lean more heavily into video content creation, or maybe you will be in the future, this could be an incredibly useful tool. Even if it's maybe not the most fun to use, it is a very effective tool to get the job done.
This lens on the XH2S has really performed incredible when it comes to autofocus. The autofocus, as I mentioned in the standalone video for the camera, we're not expecting such a huge incrementation of the autofocus system to the AI system, or whatever they're calling it. It is a really, really nice camera to use. And an 18 to 120 lens it feels almost a little bit like a cheat code. You have roughly, I would say, like a 27 to 180. Is my math right on that? But essentially you have every focal length that you would need. One of the obvious benefits of having a lens like the 18 to 120 f4 is the fact that it's incredibly versatile, and you get shots that otherwise you wouldn't. You get something like a standard maybe 18 to 55, you're probably not gonna be able to get this shot. This is kind of a sneaky shot. You don't go up to the waterfall, you shoot it from back here. And as a travel lens, it is definitely something that comes in handy, and it is, I feel like I keep mentioning the word versatile, but it really is an incredibly versatile lens.
Now, one negative that I have to point out here, I don't know if this is the lens or the camera, but you're going to see exposure stepping still exists where it gets brighter there for no reason. No settings change. It does it in a variety of different settings. It kind of blips a little bit darker in some, or sometimes it sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is a thing to mention. With the IBIS of the current Fujifilm bodies, you are able to handhold pretty much any shot you could ever desire. Here's a 1 second still frame that I think is pretty darn sharp. For running gun style coverage, it is also extremely easy to handhold all day.
I know you came to this video for some rusty boat photography, and we've got you covered here with the 18 to 120 f4. Last night, Marshall found a listing on Google Maps for a rusty boat, and there was a man, and he said that he's seen a lot of rusty boats, and this is in his top 5 favorite rusty boats ever. So now we've driven to see his top 5 favorite. I'm gonna say it's in my top 2. We really love our new Airbnb tonight. I recommend it, 5 stars.
So is the 18 to 120 f4 for you? It is an incredibly useful zoom range. It's light, The optics are great, minimal focus breathing, weather resistant, and you can automate super smooth zooms, but it will take a little bit of the process of photography away from you, and if that is important, I might recommend you try this lens out in real life before buying one. For us as YouTube content creators and also photographers, we found this lens to be incredibly useful, and it found its way onto our camera for most of this Iceland trip.
Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about the 18 to 120 f4 Fujifilm system. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And tomorrow, the video on the 150 to 600 coming out, so make sure you subscribe, turn the bell on. Don't forget, always be bouncing. Is that a thing?
Don't forget, if you're interested, head on over to the Focal link in the description, sign up for a website before June 18th, 2022, and get a free custom logo when you sign up. Bye.